Senator Cardozo.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Congratulations, Ms. Solloway, on your nomination. I really want to congratulate you for putting your name forward. These days, it's not always a good idea or advisable to take on high-profile positions, so it's all the more important that people of your experience do that. Je vais commencer avec une question.
I'll begin with a question about jurisdiction. In your opinion, where is the line drawn between the investigations you would carry out and those by the Canadian Human Rights Commission? Cases come to mind for me, for example, where there is a systemic racism or discrimination.
Madame Solloway.
Ms. Solloway.
Thank you, Mr. Senator. Alors, encore une fois, je dis...
Once again, I would say that the parameters of each role should be defined in the existing laws. And all measures undertaken, whether they be by the Human Rights Commission or by the Public Sector Integrity Commissioner, should be and are defined by law. If there is any overlap, then it would be a matter of practice. And given that I am not yet informed enough about how things work on the ground, if you will, I think it would be premature for me to speak to this.
Always to go back to the law, to go back to the letter of the law and the text and the intent, and then where there are ambiguities, to seek clarification to the appropriate authorities.
Senator Cardozo.
Thank you. Can you comment on how, on the one hand, you protect whistleblowers, which is what we want you to do, but what if the whistleblower has contravened Canadian law, either in matters of secrecy or others where the person is clearly doing something that appears to be illegal?
Madame Solloway.
Again, my touchstone is always the law, always be guided by the law, always be guided by due process. I think that all those involved in the process, whether it be a whistleblower or the person who may be accused of having done something wrong, or any other witnesses or people who may be collaterally interested in the set of circumstances. The important thing is, if everybody understands that there will be due process, that the law will be followed, and that the rights will be respected, whilst at the same time respecting the application of the law to everybody, then I think that is the best way forward. The role specifically of the Public Sector Integrity Commissioner is not a law enforcement role as I understand it to be. And so I think there are different roles defined for different institutions, and responsibilities would be split accordingly.
Senator Cardozo.
Thank you. Are you aware whether your commission can investigate and can initiate investigations? And I'm thinking of, for example, the example that Senator Pate mentioned, or any areas where there's obvious, or you're hearing a lot, but nobody comes to you with an actual complaint.
Madame Solloway.
Thank you for the question. I mean, my knowledge is limited to what I have read, and it's currently my understanding, and I stand to be corrected, that the Commission does not do that. I don't know whether any consideration is being given to that, but it is my understanding, perhaps incorrectly so, that at this point in time, that is not something that is done.
Senator
One more.
Cardozo.
If you can just give us your general thoughts about what parts of your past experience make you a good candidate for this position. I understand you've done investigations of various kinds. Would that be kind of the key area where you've got experience that relates to this position?
I think that's certainly one of them. I do think another one of my, two of my strengths are, one is that I've managed in a civil service environment. I've managed teams, and I also understand the complex dynamics in a civil service. So I think that those two things would serve me well here. I'm also, I think that my legal background would also be very useful, as well as my background in labor relations, which I haven't really highlighted, even though it was many, many years ago. So I think I have a very broad background of many different aspects that could be pertinent to this job. And when I look at what the commission, when I look at the law, when I look at the act, and when I look at some of the reports that were done, I felt very comfortable applying for this job, because I would not apply for a job that I didn't think I could do handily. So I think it's really the combination of experience.